And they assured me that they had no information that would change my ability to be able to say that no one, in response to Angie's question, on my staff was involved in this matter. That was obviously a lie. And the emails that I saw for the first time yesterday morning when they were broken in, I believe, the Bergen Records story, proved that that was a lie. There's no justification for that behavior.
And welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show as we continue our conversation and talking about the Bridgegate scandal. Joining us right now is our friend Ron Christie, political analyst and CEO of Christie Strategies. Hello. We say this jokingly when you're on, but I guess you want to stress right now, no relation to Chris Christie.
No relations, my friend. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year belatedly to you. All right. So I am of the opinion that in complete and stark contrast to the way Obama has handled anything and Hillary handled Benghazi, this man, if he's telling the truth, if he's not, it doesn't matter. He'll have to move out of the country. But if he's telling the truth, he's handled this in the best possible way, and he looks presidential. He looks like a governor. He looks like an honest man, and he came out and said everything he should say.
No, I agree with you, Steve. And I look at the contrast between Christie's leadership and President Obama's leadership. When Benghazi took place, we still, to this day, don't have any idea where President Obama was during the evening of the attack. We do know that he went on a fundraiser the next day out in Las Vegas. But President Obama never took to the podium, never held anybody responsible, never fired any of his staff, and never ultimately said, the buck stops with me. What did you hear Christie say today? And I don't always agree with Chris Christie, but he said, I'm kind of sad today, and he stood up there for well over an hour in his press conference.
Yeah, almost 2 hours. Almost 2 hours.
Almost 2 hours, and took every single question that the reporters had to offer to him, whereas President Obama, as we all know, will get a press conference and he'll answer a question for about 15 minutes for each one and run the clock out and then leave. So I think that this is the best possible way for a governor, for a leader, to stand before the American people and let the American people in general and the people in New Jersey in particular hold him accountable.
Look, 24 hours ago, I was of the opinion that Chris Christie was done. I was of the opinion that Chris Christie, how could he not have known? You know, he poo-pooed it. He made jokes about it in the first place. And here, you know, these emails were revealed yesterday morning. And here it was, you know, this time yesterday, which was almost, you know, not 12 hours, but certainly enough hours that he could have said something. All he did was cancel an event. We hadn't heard boo from him until my show was almost over, where he issued a statement and said, I know nothing about this. I'm shocked, blah, blah, blah. But so I was of the opinion that, you know, before that statement that, you know, they're figuring out what are we going to do. And I still don't understand why he didn't come right out and say, I know nothing about this. I'll give you more information later in the day. But nonetheless, everything he was asked today, he answered. Everything he was asked, yet the build up to this press conference by the liberal media, you know, while I said I thought he was probably done yesterday, I also said that this pales in comparison, notwithstanding the life emergency situation with first responders that were delayed on the bridge or getting to places in Fort Lee. I said this pales in comparison to Benghazi, where the ambassador begged for more security and none was given. Can you imagine if there was a situation where, I don't know, a police precinct, let's say, God forbid, someone walked in and killed a bunch of cops in a city in Jersey, and that precinct had begged for more security to the governor's office. You know, it would be like the governor then saying, what difference does it make? Or I don't know, leave me alone. They would have killed him in the media. So I still think what Obama with the IRS and with every other scandal in healthcare and the lie, he's gotten a pass from the media. All the media wanted to know this morning was if he knew, he's done, and if he didn't know, what does this say about his leadership? What does this say about the kind of administration he's running? We didn't hear that about Obama. You know, when he said, I don't know, I never knew. They didn't take him to task.
No, they didn't take him to task. And, you know, I honestly believe, Steve, the big loser out of all this is Hillary Rodham Clinton.
I agree.
Yep. Senator Clinton, Secretary of State Clinton, whatever you want to call her, you know, with her, what difference does it make at this point? I think that is going to be hung around her neck like an albatross if she decides to jump in the 2016 campaign. And you and I both remember they were saying it was inevitable that she was going to get the 2008 nomination. It was inevitable that she was going to win. Well, you know what? Now she has a record. Now she has a track record. Now she has something that people can say, if this is the best by way of leadership, and you and I know also, Steve, those memos went to Hillary Clinton begging her to have more security for that outpost, and either she didn't read them or she read them and she decided not to act. So again, the parallels with Christie couldn't be drawn any more stark here. Either she knew about it and didn't act, or she didn't know and she was inept.
Yeah, no, very, very, very interesting. And as far as Paul Molshine, I'm sorry, Paul Molshine, he's a columnist for the Star Ledger who's going to be a guest with us. As far as David Wildstein taking the fifth, of course, that doesn't make Christie look good, but it has nothing to do with Christie, really. It's Wildstein, the former head of the former Port Authority pick from Christie, who allegedly was directly involved in all this and resigned a few weeks ago. Makes him look bad, really.
I think it does. And again, drawing the same comparison to Benghazi, you look at or not Benghazi rather, but the IRS scandal with Lois Lerner, the IRS official who took the fifth before Congress. There were so many folks on the Republican side who tried to tie that to President Obama, and of course with Obama nothing sticks.
Right.
And ultimately here, I think, Steve, it's going to be the same thing. I believe Chris Christie. I believe he didn't know. I believe he didn't direct anyone to do this. And for having worked in the White House and worked on Capitol Hill, there are always going to be those staffers who decide that they want to take actions in their own hands and act in a way that is against what the boss's wishes are. And I genuinely believe that's what we have here, a couple of actors who decided, let's take some retribution back against the mayor of Fort Lee, New Jersey, but I don't believe Governor Christie would have ever condoned or ordered it to have had taken place.
Yeah. All right. Ron Christie, political analyst, CEO of Christie Strategies. Always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Be well.
All right, you too. All right, folks. We're going to come back in the next hour number 2 of the Steve Malzberg Show. And among our guests will be Ari Fleischer. So stay tuned right here. More ahead on the Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV and radio.